there's nothing like some new intro music to spice up a series. Welcome back to Tech Talk with Aaron, Smart Home Edition. You might be asking yourself, wait a second, what's all this stuff going on right here? I know I said that I was going to go on the internet, we were going to look at things together, we're going to buy things together. Sorry, my impulsiveness got to me. I purchased all these products. As many of you may know, I had a publication called ASE Labs where I reviewed a whole bunch of computer hardware and software. That's where I'm coming from. I'm not making these into reviews. This is more purely informational. You're coming along for the journey. So even though I've already purchased these things, I have no idea if they're going to work for what I need, but that's what we're here to do. Let's go over what I bought. First things first, bought the Habitat. Boom, right there, center of the smart home. This is going to be the thing that controls all our home automation. This is the latest version. This is supposedly upgradable to Thread and Matter. Fingers crossed that is the case. Right now it supports Zigbee and Z-Wave. Everything else is Z-Wave that I actually bought. But there's no reason that I couldn't start using Z-Wave, considering this is actually doing all of the hard work. On the ends here, you got two switches. I got the Innovelli Blue, the Smart 2-in-1 switch. It's a dimmer, or it's a regular single pole type of switch. A lot of good things I heard about this, so I am very excited. On this side, we've got the Brighton, just on-off switch. Figured, like, let me see from both products, see which one's cool, which one's not as cool. This one's obviously cheaper, this one does a lot more, so we're going to get into that. This one has an RGB LED on the side, which you can do a whole bunch of stuff, supposedly. We'll get into that. Over here I have the Sonoff Mini, which is I think it's called they call it a Zigbee Smart Switch, but I think it's more called like a relay in these kind of nomenclatures. I have no idea actually how to wire this yet. This is what we're going to do here. And the last thing that I have is just a Third Reality Smart Plug Gen 2, the one that actually plugs into an outlet. So I get to see everything in action, right? And you're like, well, what am I going to do with these? I'm here to answer this question for you, because I'm going to pull from the side here. Oh boy, my testing rig. Remember I said this in the intro that I was going to build a little rig to test things? That's what this guy is right here. What we have here is an example of a home with all the wiring here. I actually use Romex, as you can see back here. I use Romex. I bought Romex for no reason, because I had extra Romex, so I figured why not just buy extra and spend more money than I really needed to. So what we have here is an example of a home that has a powered outlet all the time down here. Let me move this out of the way for you so you can see. A powered outlet down here. You've got a single pole switch controlling this light up here. And you have two three-way switches controlling this light. And that's the example of the home. This is pretty much the test bed that I actually wanted. So I didn't have to go muck around with my home right now, with all the wiring in the home right now, replacing switches, testing that. I'm going to do everything on here, and I'll be able to show you exactly what's going on. Again, let me just go around again. So we've got powered outlet, powered all the time. We've got single pole, boom, boom. Got three ways, right? Pretty standard stuff. And everything is using actual electrical boxes that you would find in a house. So, swing this around here, I'll show you. It's powered by a power cable, obviously. So, got a Romex cable that I refused to stamp down, so, oh well, could have stapled that, make it a little bit more pretty. I could have not used Romex at all. I could have just, I had extra Romex, and I decided to buy new Romex just to make this look a lot more clean, which is ridiculous because at the end of this, I'm going to harvest the switches out of here and use them, and then the boxes I'll probably just get rid of because they're pretty cheap. Oh well, all in the name of science. You can consider this basically just a model of a house, and this is the breaker line, this black wire right here. This is the line coming in. It goes into this outlet, which is powered all the time. It then splits off, and this is just hot all the time, going into this first box right here. That becomes a three-way with this box right here. That's why they're gray. Decided to be a little bit fancy and get different color boxes for this. So these two gray boxes right here are the three-way switches, and then that goes into this one right here, and that controls the light. So these two switches control this light here. This one, this is hot all the time. This Romex right here is hot all the time. Goes into this switch right here, single pole switch, which controls this light. This is pretty much a great analog for most houses. Turn this rig back around, because this is the the end that everyone's going to start seeing. The purpose of this will be to either take this thing, right, this is the plug, I'm going to plug it right in there and see how this works. We're going to take one of these switches over here, replace this or replace one of these. It's going to be great. This is going to allow me to actually try these products out without screwing around in my house, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I can also demonstrate it for you down here. It's going to be an absolute fantastic little test bed to prove out what I want to do with my smart home. And that's it. That's really it. This is the next step in the evolution of testing the smart home, right? We are making this house smart, and we're going to do that with a little model of the house right here. So this is the point where I ask you for some feedback. I know a lot of you have created smart homes with a ton of automation. You probably use this, potentially, the Habitat. I am curious to hear how you have done your smart home tips and tricks. Please send them in. Leave some feedback. Love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.